So that will open this. Okay. So first of all, we'll get to know. First of all, we'll understand to okay, one second. Okay. So first of all, we'll try to understand these three things. Okay, debugging. Okay, in debugging. So what is debugging? So what is debugging? Then why we are doing this? Okay. Then how? Okay. These three things we'll understand. Okay, first. Okay. So first of all, can anyone tell me? So what is debugging? I mean, so if I think we all know, but still, so what is debugging?
Basically, Gangadhar, what we'll do, you have a program running. Okay, you'll run the program line by line. Okay, so you have a dialog program, or maybe a program which runs in the background. Okay, so you'd like to see line by line how the code is executing. So just like we have the compilers, in compiler we compile the entire code and it's translated to the machine level language. Here we are doing it line by line. So each line we want to check how it's running.
Yeah, correct. So debugging. So now in general, what will happen in general in an application? So what we do if you have an applications, okay. So at that time you want to troubleshoot or troubleshoot or to know how the application is working. So that is what the debugging comes into picture. So that is what is debugging. Okay, or troubleshoot the issue. So here we will try to understand the system. I mean, debugging means to get to know the system more, okay, or to troubleshoot the issue. Okay, that is why we are doing. That is what debugging means, and in general. Okay, so next is why. What is the purpose of doing a debugging? Why are we doing debugging in SAP? So there should be a purpose. So we cannot go blindly and debug something without purpose. It will waste our time. So first purpose is, so anyone know, so why, what is the purpose we are doing?
To remove defects from a program.
Correct. To remove defects, yes, to track defects. Correct. And anything else?
To see how the flow is working.
Correct. To understand the program flow. Okay.
Can change the defects and the bugs which are there.
Yes. So these two things. Okay, so remove defects and fix, it will come in here. Okay, so these two things only, that is the purpose. So first of all, in this what we are identifying, so the purpose of debugging are these two only. Okay, either to remove any defects, either to understand the program flow. Okay, so then the next thing will come, how, means how to fix that issue, how to fix the issue, and where to do a implicit enhancement, where to do a baddie. So those all things will come next. Okay, so that is what. So now we'll go to how to debug. Okay, so the SAP has given two options. Okay, so one is classic debugger. Okay.
Yes.
Classic debugger, and there is a new ABAP debugger. Okay, new ABAP, I think. Debugger. Okay, there are two things are there here. So then the next we'll see in the system. So these two things. So how we are doing debugging in classic debugger, and why we are using this new ABAP debugger. What is the advantage of using this? So we'll try to understand that. Okay.
Yes.
So anyone is familiar with classic ABAP debugger? So what is that? Do you know?
Yeah, in the classic debugger, we don't find those options like desktop tree, and it is not so much advanced, right?
Yes, correct. So it has limited functions.
Yes.
And limited function, it's like a simple debugger. So the same sessions it will happen. It will not create a different session to debug fully.
Just to add my point on it, what happens? Suppose we have 5 screens open, okay, and the limit is 5 screens, and then what happens? The 6th screen is not able to open. then the system by default puts us on the classical debugger. Okay. Then you have to put one or
Correct.
two screens off then, and then we have to switch to this new debugger.
Yes.
New
Yes.
debug.
Correct.
Okay.
Understand. Yeah.
Correct. So when the sessions are more in here, no, sorry. So when the sessions are more in here, if it is breached after 5, then it will automatically, system will automatically
Switch to classic
go to
debug.
classic debugger. Yes, it will switch to classic debugger. Okay, 2.1. Okay,
Yes.
that will be like that. So mhm. So so which one shall we debug? Shall we debug audience list or which one? Any specific you want to see or anything I'll choose from?
Yeah, you choose one.
Okay, let's check the audience list. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, anyone /n udm underscore udm underscore what happened specialist. Okay. Six America. Okay. So in debugging we have to execute the debugging we have some steps. Okay. So let's execute this one. Okay. So now in classic debugger, so how to run a classic ABAP debugger. So how to run that? So let's say if you are going by /h or you have kept a breakpoint. So breakpoint thing will come if you know the program. So I'll tell you one thing. So for debugging, we need a breakpoint. So to trigger the debugging, we need 1 second. I need to write here. How to trigger the debugging. Okay. So how do we do this? What are the steps we have? Can anyone tell me how to trigger the debugging? What are the ways to trigger the debugging?
You have to set a breakpoint, right?
Yes, set a breakpoint directly in the program.
Yes.
So this is one. Okay. So now next is what? By doing a /h. Okay.
/h. Yes.
/h. Okay. Directly. If you don't know the program, directly put it in here. These are the two ways. Okay. If you know the program, go and put a breakpoint. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
If you know the program name. Okay. If not, then you will go by slashes and debug all entire program. Okay. These are the
Okay.
breakpoints. Okay. Concept. So based on the breakpoint.
I just wanted to add one more thing, Gangadhar.
Hmm.
You can put a hard debugging by
Yes.
typing breakpoint in the
Yes.
program.
Yes.
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 The break user you can do in the coding level. So if in the coding level you can set like break point user something. User, I think it will be there. You will put the username for that user. It will set. Okay, you can put a breakpoint directly like this also, or by user also. It will trigger for the user or for the all users. It will trigger. Two options. Okay.
Okay.
Breakpoint and user. So this one or this one also you can set. Okay. So if whenever this user comes, then it will trigger for this user. I mean, if I am running for this user, then it will trigger for me. If Nitya is running, then it will not trigger for her because the user is mine. Okay. It will be like that. Or if you're putting like this breakpoint,
Yes.
if you're triggering like this, then it will trigger for all, whoever is running the transaction. Okay. Normally we don't do this in coding. So if situation comes like this, you have no other options. Then you have to do like smart forms or something. At that time, we will put this type of breakpoints to check why it is not triggering those all things. Okay.
So this Gangathar is mainly done by the developers. Suppose you're working on an enhancement and your enhancement is not ready.
Yes.
Put the entire code in a breakpoint and then the user. Okay?
Yeah.
So that when the other people are working, they are not impacted by your half-done development or something of that sort.
Okay, Rahul.
For you.
Yes.
Yes.
So here this type of statements we will put it for internal use only. This statement. So we will not move this type of statements to production. So
one more thing where it would be useful is, we have validation and substitution in the documents, correct? So in that case, now we want to like see if that breakpoint is called or no. So what we do to write the code over there, now we have user exits, correct? So we'll just put a breakpoint there, like that word we'll use, break. Okay. So what happens is the code gets triggered and then we can put our own conditions there. And then we can do the testing. So that is one more application for this then. This is breakpoint. Yeah.
Yes. So breakpoint to understand to know whether it is triggering or not.
Triggering or not.
Just triggering or not. Just to you can put this type of breakpoints also at that point of time.
Correct.
So this will be helpful in these cases. Okay. So next is so let's do by the program. Okay. First we'll go by the program and we'll set a breakpoint. So how to set a breakpoint? So let's see. I will go to this one. I know the program name, so I'm going to there and okay, I'll put it. I know the line number. Let's say I know the line number. I'll put it there. Okay. So basically, before debugging, you should know what is the purpose of that. Let's say you are debugging want to debug the functionality, or if there is a bug in this set of code, then you will place that code exactly there. Okay. So let's say I want to check this functionality, how it is working. So then you have two options how to set a breakpoint is. So here you can click on this. You can get the breakpoint here. So this is sessions breakpoint, and there is external breakpoint as well. So there is a difference between external and sessions breakpoint. Do you know why are you doing this? Why there is a difference? Why SAP has provided these two?
No. Like, what is the main difference?
So okay. So sessions breakpoint is like so for this session. So if you are running for this session, so let's say you are running. Let's say I have I'm checking some program for me. Okay, no.
Okay.
This is for my user. I kept a breakpoint. I'm running. Okay, it will trigger for me only. Okay, no. If Nitya is running this, Nitya will not get this because this is running in this session for me. Okay.
Okay.
Logical unit of work. Okay. In my logical unit of work, it is running. So you'll get this one for me only. So if you do a external breakpoint thing, then what will happen is, so let's say
trigger for Nitya also.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. So that is different. You can set a break user, that is different. So external and session breakpoint. So what is session breakpoint means? So let's say you have an application on top of it SAP. So let's say you have a .NET or some UFI applications or Fury application which is calling the SAP program in the backend. Okay. So let's say you have an application. So let's say what application? Let's take this VMware. Okay, no. Let's take this application. Okay. When you go to this application, you will click on some action. Okay. You will click on some action. So in the backend, it is triggering to SAP. SAP program. So how to track that? So what will happen is at that point you have to put a sessions breakpoint in a general external breakpoint. Okay, you have to put this so that whichever the outer application is trying to call, then it will connect here, or else it will not trigger. If you put this external session breakpoint, it will not trigger for sure. Okay, so that is the main difference why we are using this external and session breakpoint. So okay, and also sessions breakpoint have a validity, maybe 2 hours or something. It will go after that. Okay, no, after it will automatically remove this sessions breakpoint. Okay. So these are the two main difference of this. Okay, no, for breakpoint. So these are the way to put the breakpoint, or else you can go here. Okay, you can go
Yeah.
here, utilities, breakpoint,
Breakpoint.
set delete is there. See, set
Mhm.
and delete. So directly here also, this is like long step. You will go put the line number, put it the cursor here and go here and set and delete also you can do.
Mhm.
And so these steps, you can do that like this also. Okay. So
Yeah, we can double click also.
you can double click or you can set like this, or else you can delete at a time all the breakpoints like this. Breakpoint,
Delete.
display, then whatever is there, select all and delete.
Delete. Oh.
Okay. So now see it's gone. That is like deleting all the breakpoints in this program. So let's say you have 10 breakpoint or 15 breakpoints, you have kept it somewhere, and you don't want to go and check each line and put it that. So you'll directly go here and do that. That will be helpful here. Okay.
Okay.
So let's debug now. So I'll put a breakpoint here.
So Gangadhar, one more point I wanted to add. Okay, so just
Yes,
now you're
yes.
done, correct? Go to the go to one on the top. Go to.
Mhm.
Yeah. So from go to now, yeah. So we can use this to skip also, correct, Gangadhar? Maybe that also we can use, correct? Go to
Skip.
statement also. So
Go to
suppose,
statement.
yeah.
Go to statement. That will at the time of
Yes, yes,
debugging it will happen.
yes.
When while debugging
Sure,
functions.
sure, sure. Okay, okay.
Correct.
We can
So
go there.
from
Yeah.
there we can see yes. So now first so we'll try to understand what is this piece of code. We'll try to understand this piece of code. Okay, till here to here. Okay, what we are doing. Okay. So we don't know. So we don't know what is happening. Let's go with that approach. Okay. So then what we'll do is I'll generate this one again. Slash. Okay. See, now the breakpoint got triggered. Okay. So now this is what you are seeing is a new web debugger. Okay. But we can do this by, where is that classic web debugger? So here, I think we cannot change this, change settings. Not this one. So I think it will not come by default now. By default, it will not come. I think classic ABAP debugger.
Yes, Gangadhar, even I couldn't find classic
Actually,
debugger.
earlier versions of SAP, it will
Yeah, in
directly
the
come
debugger
classic.
only yeah.
So earlier when you are running, no, when I was learning, so it was directly come the classical debugger every time.
Mhm.
Then it will switch to every time.
Yeah, we can
Here
switch to
some
classic
settings.
debugger. There is an option.
But here we cannot. Where we cannot do that here. I think it is not providing the options to switch to classic. Okay. So let's see this first. Then we'll go to the classic debugger. Maybe I'll increase the sessions. Then I will get it. Okay. So what do this slash o. I'll do this one generate slash o. Okay. Now what I'll do is so total 6 sessions. Okay. Now when I try it will. Okay. Okay. Now I will try. See. Okay. So now. Okay. One session is active still. Stop this. Because see this session is open with debugging, so it is going to this only. So that is the reason it is going here. So it is considering this as a session also. So let's try now. I think work. Okay, so here I think this should trigger. See, now it triggered the classic debugger.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is how it will look like. Okay, so classic debugger. There are few steps only here. Nothing
Yeah.
much will be there here. So first thing is you can check the variables. Okay, to know what is there, what is the variable is containing, to see that. But here we cannot change the data here. So if I try to change that, I think it will not happen in this. I cannot. Okay, I can change the data also, but it is, see, it is not very much. It's not looking good actually to use this. Comfortable to use this 261. So see, I can add the fields, can insert. Okay, so here are the options. Okay, like change the data, insert, append, and delete. So let's select and delete the data. These are the
Okay.
functions of the debugging. Means when you have to change the variables or something, then you have to go by this approach.
Okay.
But it is not much convenient to use this. So
Mm-hmm.
that is why SAP has given that new ABAP
New
debugger.
debugger.
All the functions will be there. And here also we can do that the same things, but it's not very much comfortable in this. So I think we have breakpoints here also. We can delete these breakpoints. So now we'll go step by step. Okay, first. So here, see. So the iterator will move from top to button down approach. Okay. So every time, remember, keep on mind this iterator. Okay, no. See, this when the iterator is going down, it will always go by top to button approach. Okay, no. It will
Yes.
take whatever you have written, it will go by top to bottom approach. So when you do F5, then it will go for a single step. Okay, it will go for a single step, and in the single step, it will check line by line code, line by line what is there. So you can check the variables. So uh, let's say R value, what is that now? See, now it is filled here, switch based. So where it is coming, this switch based. So here, let is going to this. Then what it is there in this read table. See this variable I'm unable to say. Okay, here. So what is this variable? Enhancement 4.5.1. It is trying to read the data from this internal table. This is an internal table. Okay. This is an internal table. It is trying to check whether there is an entry with this data or not, the entry with this variable or not. That is what is happening. It's trying to check. So how the restatement is executing, we're trying to understand. So what is happening? This variable is checking in this internal table whether this data is there or not. Okay, now if you do F5, it will give us it is success or not. So to check that, size bars you can enter here. Okay, so there, see here,
Yes.
the size bars means whether it is a success, failure,
Success or not.
or
Yes.
success, failure, or inconsistency, or 1, 2. There are different. I think four are there. Four or five
Four.
bars are there. Okay, so 0 means success,
Successfully.
and 4 means failure. Okay,
Failure.
and
Yes.
1, 2 are like inconsistent or something happened. Okay.
Okay.
So now it will check. So here the size of bars is what it is, 0 or not. Basically checking the data, whether this read is success or not. If the read is success, then we'll go and check the next step. What is the next step? So what we are doing, then we are checking the user ID. The user ID is initial or not. So user ID, we are not storing anything. Okay, so now what it is happening? So now if else statement, it is just filling the active to the R active. So now it will fill here. See at this line, this will move. It got moved. See, data got
Yes.
filled here. Okay.
Yes.
So now next, so now see it got passed. So what is that switch active? This one got passed. Means the statement, if statement is yes, no. I mean yes or no. It was like if for statement, that means the switch is enabled for this. If the switch is enabled, then it is going in this. If I turn off the switch, then it will not go inside this set of code. So we have implemented the switch framework, no? So that is the
Yes.
part of the code. From there it is triggering. Sorry. So now the loop will, now there is a loop statement. So loop statement, what will happen is until the internal table. So let's say how many lines are there in this? Let's say how many will be there in this? 132 lines.
132, yes.
So 132 times this iterator will go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It will happen, but it will not go till it is completed. So that's why. So that is the reason why we are saying that use less number of loops. So loops will consume the performance timing. So that is why we are saying to use loop less and use read statements or this kind of things, so to increase the performance. But where the loop is necessary, you have to use that. Okay, so now in debugging, so if you see now, say one then if you see, let's say F5, no, so if I put it here, okay, then now we'll see the F5. We have gone through F5 single step. Okay, and now we'll go to the F6. So F6, what will happen? So let's say if I go F5, F5, 5. So here, okay, I'll put a breakpoint here. Okay, I want to check here. Okay, so it's like, so when we want to put it here, see, it have to wait for this Belnar and REBJ to be fulfilled. Both should be same. See. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So then only it will go inside. Okay.
Yes.
It's like a parallel cursors I have set up. This is more like a coding thing. Okay, now.
Okay.
So it will wait till, so still see, I'll do now. So it is still looping. It is looping. It is waiting for that REBJ and Belnar to be equal. So when it is equal, then it will go to the next line and execute that. Okay, it is trying to check. See, this one also is failed. So both are failed now. See, this is not equal to REBJ is 755. This is 755 Belnar. REBJ is 776.
76.
It's trying to check this condition. If this is equal to, then only it will go inside this. So in that case, what we'll do, we'll if you do F5, then what will happen? It will try to you have to do a number of times to get that. So directly put it here after this and put and do a F7. Okay, so it will wait. It will run till that point, and where it is stopped, it will stop there. So this will stop when this line is triggered. And you're putting a breakpoint, it will stop at that line when it will trigger accurately. So now if you see, this one is 776 and this one also should be 776. Okay.
Yes.
So then it will go here, and then then single step I'm doing. So now see, there is a perform now. Okay. So there is a perform now. If you want to check line by line, okay. If you want to check, there is a problem in this line, in this perform. Some problem is coming. Let's say some error message or something is coming from this perform. At that time, we'll go inside with a single step approach and we'll check single step approach and we'll go line by line. Okay. Or else, if you know that there is no issue in this perform, we don't want to do this check in this, then go with F6 here. Okay. So it will execute the entire perform in one step.
Perform in it. It won't go inside. It will just execute.
It will just execute as a single step. It will just execute as a single step. Okay, but here there are set of code. It will just do it in one step only.
In one step.
That is
what exactly does move corresponding do?
Okay, so move corresponding, what will happen is this work area contain one structure, correct? So what is happening? It's a structure, correct? A structure means like we are creating a work area, you can call it, or something like that. Okay, so work area structures like that. So move corresponding, what will happen is, see what you are seeing. Let's say we have Bookers, Kunnar. Let's take this one, physical year and Belnar. Let's take these 4 fields. Okay, no. Let's say you have 10 fields in this structure. We have 10 fields in this structure, and here and this one. Where is to move corresponding? This one. Where is that line? So B-Sec-key. Okay. So here we have what? Where is that? So here we have some limited structures. See, only 4.
Yes.
So move corresponding, what it will do is it will check what are the fields are there. What are the fields are common? It will move those fields only automatically.
Those fields only. Okay.
Those fields data only it will move. If there is no match found, it will not move those data.
Okay.
Basically,
at that time,
it is looking for a match with the field name. If you want to move the data from one structure to another structure, one way is there, you have to map the entire structure. Okay. That structure has got 50 fields. You have to compare those 50 fields like A is equal to B, C is equal to D, all those things. You don't want to do that. If you use the move corresponding option, and it will look for the field name. The sequence of the structure will not matter. Okay, so there is an advantage and disadvantage of doing that.
So if you are using, let's say, if there is no data element match, let's say if this bookers, this here the data element is 15 characters, there you are doing something 10 characters or some other, then it will fail. Okay, no? Data element also has to be same. Okay, no, it will fail or else. Okay, so it will not pen. Okay, those are things. So move will just take the data of a work area or a structure to the other work area, which are the fields are same, which are having the same data elements. Okay, it's like moving that in one step. Or else what you have to do, you have to move one by one field. One by one field means we'll be moving like work area hyphen employee ID equal to work area to hyphen employee ID. Like this you have to do. So this one, like a lot of coding will be there, and also a lot of lines will come and program, and this debugger has to execute, and this iterator. So this iterator has to execute all these lines. So it will take a performance there.
Not compact.
That is why. That is the main reason. Okay, now coming to the debugging. So now here we have did the F6. So F6 will execute one set of perform or a function module if you have. So if you don't want to check that piece of code, then you enter. I mean, you don't want to check troubleshoot that point. You just want to skip. It will execute. You don't think that it will not execute. It will definitely execute. F6 will definitely execute, but it will not go by. It will not go by line approach. Okay.
Right.
So like this. So now what happens? So okay, we have checked the issue. Let's say you have checked the issue, but now the thing is, we are not facing the issue at this function module. Okay. At this function module, we are not having any issue. Let's see. Let's think like that. We are getting the issue after this FM.
Okay.
Let's say that so this is one FM. We are already inside this FM. Okay, we are already debugging inside this FM, and we don't see any issue here. We have to see the next step. I mean, after this function module, something is happening. So at that time, what will happen is we have to do F7. Okay. Let me remove this one. See, I think see F7 I am doing. So F7 means it will come out from that program. From that program, what you are running. Okay, now if it is a perform or a function module, it will come out from that. You see, it came out from that. So here, if you see, I don't think it will go up. I don't think it will go up. I think it will go up like this. Yes. So yes, it is like this. Okay. So if you see this, when I did F7 inside this, then it will come out after from that function module. Let's say if you are in a perform also, if you do F7 step will come out from that program. It will go to the next program. That is the use of the F7. Okay. So when which cases you will do in which cases we will do that in F7. So when you don't want to check that program, you want to check the next program like perform or function models or another method or come out from that method. At that time, we have to use this F7. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And next step is, let's say now we will check again you will do line by line debugging F5, F6. Then again it will go like here it went inside this. Now we'll do a F7C. I went inside this FM and I'm doing a F7. Okay. Now it came out of this FM. Okay. So that is the function of this F7. Okay. So next is F8. Okay. So F8 what it will do. So when you will use this, so F8 means it will execute the whole program. Okay, let's if I do F8 now, it will execute normally, like you
It will execute.
from
Yes.
there it will continue totally. So let's say we don't have any issue after this, just execute this. At that point of time, we'll click on F8. Okay, and let's say if you have a breakpoint, if you want to keep a breakpoint the down. Okay, if you want to keep a breakpoint at down or in some other program after this, okay, no, and you will do a F8 here. It will stop there. Okay, no, okay, it will stop there. It will also
Okay.
execute entirely, but before executing, completing that, you have kept a breakpoint somewhere. So there it will stop again.
Okay.
Okay, so there again we can do this F6. Okay,
Mhm.
or F6, and you can go inside this and you can check that line by line step, or you can go to that program by F7, next program. From
Mhm.
there you can check the next program. See, I'm going to the next program. I'm coming out from this. Okay, so here earlier it was this one. Earlier it was this method. I think earlier this was this method. Now it is calling this FM. Now I don't want to check this one. Then I'll do F6. Okay, now it displayed the transaction. This is how the steps will be. So total 4 steps will be there. Okay, so what are those is step one step. Okay, one step. Then that is what we call is F5. Okay, then per program,
Mhm.
then each program step, so we'll call it as program, means program by program. It's like F6. If you want to do by next program or something, you'll do by F6. Okay, you don't have to exit in this case, performs will be there, or subroutines, performs, or function modules will be there. If you want to execute by one step only, like one step. Okay, so next is F7. So F7 will come out from that existing program.
Return.
Will like yes. So it will come out from that existing program. Means that will execute that program and it will come out from there.
Come out.
Yes.
Okay, no. So it's like that. So it will like go to the next program. Okay, I'm writing like this. Okay. So next is what? Next is F8.
Just
F8 will
execute.
execute totally. F8 will execute totally, or if you have a breakpoint stopped anywhere, it will stop there. Okay.
Mhm. Next
Okay.
breakpoint.
So here F8. Okay, so these are the steps that we have in 4 steps. We can debug full SAP. Okay, no, if you know this, okay, no, we can debug in SAP any applications, any. Okay, no,
Yes.
anything. So now, so what we'll do is now we'll close this and then we'll see the new ABAP debugger. There we'll see the new concepts and those all things. Okay, no, like watch point, breakpoints, those watch points also concepts. Okay, so let's see that. Okay. Okay. So here, so this is how the new ABAP debugger look like. Okay, no. Okay, so here are some functions. So here it will be easy. I think we are familiar with this screen. Okay, so here we are doing like this: F5, F6. F6 is to run a single step program step. Okay, next program, something like that. Okay, no. So here, what we'll see is next how to set a watch point on this. Okay.
Mhm.
So next we'll see watch point concept. Okay, so let's say I want to check this work area when it is filling. Okay,
Okay.
when it is changing, I want to see. Okay,
Mhm.
when this work area is changing, now it is what the value is 001.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
Now the value is 001. I want to see when this, at what point of time this value is changing. leave about this breakpoint. Okay, no, leave about this breakpoint I have kept. Okay, no, just
Okay.
do a watch point if you want to know where
Mhm.
the value is filling from,
Yeah.
any variable or any value, will be something, any variable or any work area or any internal table also. What we'll do is we'll just put the cursor on that and click on watch point. So watch point, what it
Watch
will do
point.
is watch point will watch that variable, okay,
Mhm.
where it is changing. Okay, whenever it will modify, no, let's say if this work area or this variable is modifying, then it will automatically stop at that line. So no need of any explicit going to the program and put a breakpoint. So that red color dot, that extra what you say, sessions breakpoint will not be there in that point. So let's say if I put like this,
Mhm.
okay, then if I do F8, just do F8, okay, no,
Mhm.
it will stop here and it will show like
Yeah,
this,
watch
watch
point
point
reached.
reach, watch point reach. So every time when I do, it will show that, okay, no,
Mhm.
it will show
Yeah.
that it will stop there. So this will when we will use these functions, when to know from where the data is filling, where the data exactly is filling, because see, there are 100 lines of code or 1,000 lines of code. We cannot check that, cannot check from where it is filling, or else we have to read, go by one and read all the code. It will consume some time. Or else directly, if you know that table, let's say you know that internal table, this one, or you know this work area, directly go and put a watch point. Okay, whenever it is changing, you can track that variable or the work area or something. So that is the purpose of watch point. Okay, no, so if you do this now, see, every time when I do F8 or F7 or F7 or F8, if it is in this program, it will set the watch point again and again. Okay, got it.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So it is like this, the watch point constant is like that. So now if you want to, let's say we are done with the watch point thing. So I don't want to check every time. I want to check, move to the next step. I don't want to check watch point again. It's done now. So then what we'll do is in this here, you have to go to this tab. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have to go to this tab. Here we can see what are the list of breakpoints are there in the current program.
Mhm.
So you can directly go and select that, delete. Here it is watch point. You can directly go and delete this. Okay. So that whenever you will execute next, it will not stop there. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
So it will not stop there. So now the watch point will not trigger. Okay. See, now the watch point will not trigger. It will come to the next line. Okay.
Right. Right. Yes.
That is why so watch point is very much useful actually. Okay. Real time, which is very much useful. If you don't know the program, it is very much useful. Okay. So watch point, we are familiar now. We are familiar with the breakpoints also, the external and session breakpoint. Okay. So now we have what? Now there is one. Now we'll see the functions of this ABAP debugger. Okay. So now here see. So there is a desktop 2, desktop 3. There is the desktop standard. So these are the layouts of this new ABAP debugger here. Okay, so why it is like this? So when you go to desktop 3, you will see the view like this. Okay, so here when you click on the variable, it is displaying here, correct? Okay,
Yes.
it is displaying here. So
Hmm.
now let's say there is a scenario where you want to know all the local or global variables of this program. Okay, then what we'll do
Right.
is there is a local tab is there here. Just go here. You'll see all the local variables declared in this program.
Yes.
Okay, directly see that variable there instead of, because we don't know where that variable is, to find it here. If you are unable to, you don't find it here, go here and check that variable, or you can directly put a watchman from here. Okay,
Okay.
you can do, I think, from here also. See here also you can put this. Okay, these are the local variables, means for to this program what are the local variables was created,
That I
like that.
used. Okay.
Like that you will see the global variables here.
Hmm.
Global variables means this program has a top include or something. So what are the global variables are there? It will display in this tab. So here we can identify what are the variables we have and how we can consume in our program. Okay, how we can consume this data in our program to write the next logic. This
Right.
global and local variables. So what are the availability of the work area or variables? Here we can see that. Okay. That is why these two tabs here you can see that. But in classic ABAP debugger, I don't think we'll get like in these all things. Functions will not get that. Okay. So these are like this. And one more thing. Okay. Next is, so this one we understood local and global variables.
Global, yes.
The next step is so desktop to layout. These are different layouts. Okay, no. It's like so here I'll tell you the standard one. Okay, no. So here what we'll see is it is like a split of variables. Here you can see the variables. And what is this screen? Can you tell me why this screen is for? Why SAP is given this screen? Can anyone tell me why the SAP is given this ABAP and screen stack? How it is useful?
So Gangadhar, you know, like which FM or which perform or which method is being called. So you have the sequence, like in what sequence it's called.
Yeah.
And where it is in the stack.
So correct. So here this is nothing but it will show the sequence of the program from where to where next step it is going. So how the sequence of the program is calling.
So
what
basically
is-
from top to bottom that shows sequentially the events which are occurring in the program, right?
Yes. See, from where to where it started.
Yes.
See, let's say so what I'll do is there is a scenario like this. See, there is a scenario like this. I want to check from where it is, where the issue is coming from where the source program. Okay, so then what we'll do is you can double click on this. Okay, let's say you want to check this. You can double click on this. It will directly put it here. It will not, breakpoint will not go, but it will show the method. What is there? You can in debugging you can see that, you can understand that program, or else you can put a breakpoint here and you will execute the next time. No, it will trigger here because starting is this, correct? You're getting me?
Yes, Gangadhar.
Yes,
So
Gangadhar.
this will go to the sequence flow. This is nothing the sequence flow of the program. If you want to check from the start or somewhere on the middle it is going wrong, you can put it here.
So it's like an index.
It's like a it's like which program is causing the issue, which one you need to check, which program you need to check. So you can go and directly put there. This is the program sequence. This FDM specialist, UDM specialist calling in this sequence.
Okay.
This one first, this program, then this program, this program, something like that. See here, first what happened when you click on execute, then PI screen got triggered. Then PI screen got triggered, then PI module got triggered. PI action. Then that event got triggered. So event got triggered. Then that event, what is the method triggered? Then after the method, it triggered another method. Inside that method, there is another method. See, if you see, double click on this, there is a SOAP worklist specialist. So that is here, next step. See?
Yes.
Inside this one. Now next what happened? And when you go this, then now we have worklist. So worklist it happened. So it is coming like this flow. It is calling this. Then what is happening? Then it is going to a perform. It is displaying the worklist.
Display worklist. Yes.
It is calling the display worklist. Then it is going to worklist. So then it is calling again one more screen. This screen it is calling. So here one thing I want to tell is, so some statements we cannot execute that. So if I put down, if I double click now, we cannot execute some methods also. We cannot see the iterator is coming here. No, this type of iterator will not come in some scenarios when you are doing a system debugging. So if I do it here, see it is coming and pop-up is coming, because this part of code is not in the what we call in the programming which they have built. That it's like a some system commands or something. See there there we cannot debug directly. So in that case, we have to enable the system debugging. Okay, no? Some code means, let's say you are in F5. Let's say you have a perform, or you have some statements. You want to see in that statements what is happening. Okay, no? In general, we will unable to debug that. Generally,
Yes.
F5, F6 will not go into that line.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, system debugging will help. So we do the system debugging to check what is happening on that line exactly, to go further inside that line.
Okay.
Some statements, I'll tell you, let's say there is a select query or some performs or some statements are there, like some statements will be there. It will not allow to go inside this. If you do F5 also, it will not allow to go inside that.
Okay.
So at that time, if you enable the system debugging and do F5, no, it will go inside that one. Then you can check what exactly wrong is happening in that statement. So then that is the purpose system debugging. Okay, no?
Yes.
So if I activate this, and if I go there, see now it is coming. It is going. These are some system functions. So we very rare here issue will come. Okay, no?
Okay.
No? But this is important. Okay. System debugging is important in some cases, from where it's triggering, how it is coming from, to understand the flow. If something is going wrong, this will help. Okay, system debugging. Or else you can go here to activate that. You can do it on off here. Settings, system debugging on off. So here it is activated. Here
activated
again.
And deactivated.
Okay. So that is what you have seen me. I was doing before also this. Okay, no.
Yes.
So that is the purpose of system debugging. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
Gangadhar.
so next is what? So next, let's say we have so here we can see the tables. I think we can see the. Let's say if I do LTBSID, I don't think we have BSID here. I don't think we have here. So these are. I am in the system debugging. That's why. If I go here, I think here. I think we can see like this. See, you can search the tables and put enter here. We'll show you that table directly here, and here we'll put the structure name. It will display here LSVS Okay. See, we can search directly here. Okay. Or else directly go from here and put a double click on from here. Okay. These are the ways, but these things we rarely use these tabs. Okay, no, we rarely use this. Okay. And one more thing I'll tell you is, see, let's say there is an internal table. Okay, we have an internal table and we want to check the fourth number line. Fourth, so let's say LTBSID. Okay, so here total how many are there?
132 records, right?
Total 132, correct? Yes, 132. So 132 record, I want to know what is
132, yes.
Total 132. I want to know the document number on 10th line of this record. How can we know now? How can we see the 10th line of this? How can we see
so
this?
we can go to the tables section.
I can go to the table and see 10th line. Where is that? This one, no? So this is the document number, correct? This is the document number, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So how we are doing, double clicking on that, and we are going and seeing here. Okay. Instead of doing that, we can do one more way. Okay. What is that? So that is a table. Okay. Let's put brackets. Okay. Here put here put 10th. Which one you want to see? 10. Then hyphen Bellner. See?
Okay.
Oh, that's really great.
So or else let's see, or else
Any other number you can.
His laptop got knocked off, I think. His battery going out.
Yeah.
So there is a power problem in Hyderabad, at least in Gachibowli area.
Okay, you saying Gachibowli, Robin?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I still remember Indiranagar like as if it was yesterday only.
Indiranagar, I think, is in Bangalore, right?
No, there also, no?
Hyderabad
Near
also?
Gachibowli. Yeah. That.
Oh, yes. Immediately you cross the flyover, you get in
Yeah,
Bangalore.
yeah. That
that
turn.
I think it's
Very near to one
Telecom
place,
Nagar or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Telecom Nagar is opposite, and if you cross
Yeah.
the it's Indiranagar. Yeah.
Because I started in Infosys in that campus opposite ISB. I started there.
Big
2013.
Infosys campus.
Yeah, I started there in
Correct.
2013. So I know it like really well now, that area.
Correct.
Gachibowli, Indiranagar, then that ORR ahead of it.
Yeah. I'm near to the ORR.
Okay.
Office. Yeah.
Oh, great. Deloitte office is also huge. I've seen Deloitte office.
Yes.
It's huge there.
Yeah. You can see it from my house.
Oh, that's great. So nice for you then. You can easily travel to office then. Office
Yes.
rights.
Yeah, commute is not a problem for me. That was
So have you picked up Telugu then, Robin? In this so many years?
No. Because in office we speak English, right?
Correct.
On the road in Hyderabad, Hindi is spoken, like
Okay.
spoken. So
Correct.
I never did not have that complication. So
Sure. Robin is back. I had
Okay.
picked up a
Gangadhar
few
is
words. Sorry, Gangadhar is back. My bad. I had picked up a few words actually, speaking to the locals, but then I forgot after I moved out of Hyderabad.
If you're not in practice and if you have not learned it in early stage, it's
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Gangadhar, go on. Yeah.
Go on, Gangadhar.
Okay. So next, so this is how we found the 10th number line. Okay, no? 10th, we can find any other line also the same way. Okay.
Yes.
We have thousands of likes. Now in this scenario, it is 100. I want to see the 50,000 number line. Then we can see that one. Okay. And one more thing, on the watch point part is, there is one more thing on the watch point part is, I want to set the watch point when the document is this one. At what line this document is filling. At this document only. So what it will happen? So let's say, let's say put at this statement. So let's say I will put in T invoices. Okay, T invoices. I think from here, I'll tell you the scenario. Okay, see here. This is T invoices. Okay. So here, okay. So in this invoice, so this one, what is this in invoice? It is 10th line, correct? It's on 10th line. I want to check to in this table.
Yes.
In this table, when the document reaches to this, at what point of time this document reaches to this? At that time, what we'll do? So how we are setting up the watch point? Can you tell me?
Watch point.
How we'll set up the watch point? So we'll go click on this and we'll click on watch point.
Click on watch point.
This is in general way do, but we want to see, we want to trigger the watch point when the variable value is that one. So when the variable reaches that value. So that means, so let's say this is the one. Okay. Means here we need to put the document number. So then here we'll need to put the document number. So it will stop at that point where the document number reached to that number. So what is that number?
Okay.
976. Okay. So if you put it here, then what will happen? It will stop when the variable reaches to that value only. It will not stop every time. 976. And then
435
Okay. So when you set this, then every time earlier what it was happening, it is like checking whenever the variable is changing, whenever this variable or this work area is changing. But now it will check when the variable reaches this data. Okay, let's say if I do F8 now. Okay, see it stopped now. So now let's see what is the value. See, stopped here when it is 4999.
Yes.
and the watch point is reached. This is how one more way of for watch point to check the value when exactly it is reaching that value. Okay. So this
Yes,
is
got
what we will do in watch point. And here, let's say, and here one more thing is, let's say you want to save the variables here. Means when you are running again this program, no, I don't want to. I want to see the same variables what I have, what I was looking for. Then you can go and click here. If you save this, when you run every time when you run a debugging in your system, these variables only will come.
Okay, okay.
Okay, it will save for your
To
user.
save the variables for us.
It will save this variable for your user. The next time when you run, no, you'll get it from here. So that's why when you remove this, no, either you have to delete it and save this, so that it will not come. If you want to do the repetitive same debugging, then do the save and you do the next run, it will trigger there and same variables will be there. That is why this is there. And you can, and also we can save this layout. Okay, that means every time when you run this new ABAP debugger, I want to run in standard mode only. I want to run in standard mode only. If you save if I save this layout, no, okay. If I save this layout means see, this person is here, this one is here, and this one is here. Okay, no. These are the windows. These three windows are there. I want to view in this way only. If you see, if I save this, every time for my system, it will come like this way only. If I'm moving this from here to here, okay. If I'm moving this from here to here and I am doing the save layout, for me every time it will come like this.
Come in this
Okay.
layout only. Yes.
Okay. So it will come in this layout only. Okay. So this is why this layout things are there. Okay. This one also is there. Okay. So now what else we have? Step size, change viewer. This is single step. This is. Okay. So now what else we have? I think we have talked the breakpoints. So here, yeah, okay. Here, see. Here there are some functions here. See. First of all is delete all breakpoints.
Yes,
When you
yes.
click on this, so what are the breakpoints are there? No, automatically it will delete here. Or else you can deactivate the breakpoints. Okay. So in the program, if you put a breakpoint here, okay. Let's say if you are putting a breakpoint here and we are saving this already, it is already there. I will go and click on delete all breakpoint. Delete means it will delete this. See.
Delete the breakpoint, yes.
It will delete the breakpoint, and from here, if let's say if you have already this breakpoint, if you don't want to delete, let's that breakpoint will be there, but I just want to
Deactivate it.
so I deactivate it. Okay, I deactivate it. Now what will happen? Next time when you run, no. See, what I'll do is I'll do a next run. So now the breakpoint is deactivated, but the person is there. But okay.
Yeah, right.
So now when I do this, see it triggered. Okay, this is for, so what will happen is, why the deactivate thing will happen is, let's say we have the breakpoint at this line. Okay, let's say the breakpoint is there in this line. Okay.
Yes.
We are not deleting it, but for the next run it will be there.
Yes.
So let's say if I iterate F5, so now let's say I'm deleting, I will delete this. Okay. And save. Now what I will do is I will deactivate all breakpoints. Okay. So in the same run, just deactivate. The purpose of this is just not to stop anywhere. Just to execute the F8 or the F7, not stop anywhere when you deactivate that. Okay.
Got it.
So that is what is the purpose of those deactivate all breakpoints. Okay. So now we'll see what other functions are there in debugging. ATM specialist. I think okay. I kept breakpoint. Okay, so now structure, tables, objects, what are these are object reference. Okay, so if you have a class, you want to view the reference, you can directly enter this. So it's like see if this is one you want to check. Okay, you can go here, see these are object reference, you can check it directly here. Okay, so or else you can put it here. Okay, same
Yes.
thing. So we'll go here and double click, directly put check in here, or else like
Right.
this. So next what is there, then detail display, this is field. I think it will display the type of this variable and those are things. See here it is showing the type, data type and structure type.
Not Caroline.
So here and there is one more thing I'll tell you is let's say you can see the view also. See like this. This is also important one. Let's say if I open this one, okay, and here, so I see here what the problem is while debugging. You have to scroll and check this in this view what is the data. Okay, instead of doing
Yes.
that, you can directly click on here. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
see like a proper LV grid. You can
Okay.
review for some time, how much time you want to check, you can review here. It will be very much easy
Easy
while
to see.
debugging. See the table data clearly where it is and how it is. Okay, here also you can do filter, sort, everything you can do here, sort, filter, functions, everything is there in debugging. You can check it here. Okay, no, or find or something. This should be
Mm-hmm.
helpful when you do that.
Yes.
And there is one more thing is, let's say if I am opening this work area, and if you are going to here and double click on this, I think structures, not this one. I think don't have that type of variable. I think that. So there will be a view here. I think that view will not come now. See here, this view is there, no? Now it is not coming here, okay, no? So now here what is happening, you can go here and edit the value. Okay, like
Right.
we are doing on the main screen, we can do the edit, okay, no?
Mm-hmm.
But here you can do in this way, or else there will be number of options, but it is not coming here because it is a variable. So there will be different views will be there, like fast display, table display, or HTML display, XML display. So this much means how to view the data in different ways. It will display like that. Okay, no. So these are nothing but the binaries. Okay, binaries. This is not the actual data. Okay, this is the
Okay.
data. These are the binaries
Binary data.
that is consuming for this variable. Okay, no.
Mm-hmm.
These are the
Yes. Yes.
binaries, and we cannot change this actually. This is the length of this. Okay, no, in binaries. Okay, no.
Yes. Go.
What else we have? I think so this is Data Explorer. This one we can check the name. I think LV tab X. I think. So that is like this. You can search the variables here. Okay. As we have seen differences. What is this difference? Okay. Variable differences. LV1, LV tab X. Here we can analyze what's the difference, right? Tab X. So two variables, if you want to compare, you can put it here. Okay, start comparison. See here it is saying no value difference found. Both the values are same. See, let's say if I put two tables, okay, this is also base ID. So one table here and one table here. Invoices. I think T invoices it was. See here too. And here every time remember here we need to put a box to in order to consider as a table. Okay, now when you compare this difference of columns, see it's showing the columns. Okay, what are the column is same, what is different, what are the value different will display here. Two tables comparisons.
Yes.
Getting this, no? Okay. So this is how we do it. In real time, we'll use this less. Okay. And this comparing this. But we can check here. This is also function given by SAP. Okay. So next is script. So script is like, so what we say is, script is like you can put a, I think it is allowing us to put code in this. Okay. So in debugger, when you are debugging, no, in runtime you can put a code and you can check. That is what. Okay. Or we can
Oh.
debugging single step, or you can do, you can see save, start script, load script. Okay. So that is the function of script. So in debugging, we can put some code. We can put some code here there, and we can check
We
that
can
part.
check.
That
Yes.
part. But this function, what are this function we are seeing now? Some customers will allow that. Okay, no.
Okay.
Because see, if this will be given in production, no, then what will happen? They will edit in debugging, then will put some code there. These functions should not be there. So that is why these
There.
limited functions, these are. In general, this will be the last approach we will go for scripts. Okay, no. If they're not coding, if you want to do the coding and check
The
those are
runtime.
in the runtime only, it will help. It will help that when you save and load the scripts. Okay, no. This is
Yes.
the purpose of the scripts. Okay, no. While debugging, you can put some script and we can check that. We can save and load that script, how it is working. Those are things. Okay, no. In
Yes.
production, we will not. I think most probably will not get this access to the scripts. Okay, it is allowing in DRP, but will not get this type of script there. Okay, that is what I think we have went through all the functions. Okay. So here breakpoints, line breakpoint, these are steps, I think. Breakpoint at statement subroutine. There is one more thing I want to tell you is, see, there are some commands, okay? There are some ABAP commands, I think. Okay. So there are some ABAP commands where we can put the breakpoint dynamically. That means, let's say I have given some application. Okay. Let's say I've given one application VL02N. I'll ask you to check why the message is triggering and how the message is triggering, where the message is triggering. So how we will check that? You will go line by line debugging and will check, then it will consume a lot of time. So messages triggering, or some information messages, or where the call screen is triggering, or where the function module is triggering. So in that case, what we'll do, so let's say debugging. Okay, no, let's say I'll restart this. I'll tell you this how it is happening. So okay, so see here, there is some information is triggering, correct?
Yes.
I'm seeing some information messages.
Yes.
Why and where it is triggering.
Okay.
So how to know that? So how to know that where this is triggering from? So
Right.
or else why this call screen happening?
Happening.
We don't
Yes.
know. We don't know which program line by line debugging. We don't want to do that /h and do line by line. That will consume more time. You want to check when the screen is calling or when the message is triggering. So how to do that is go to there, and here first of all you have to do a /h for sure. Okay.
Okay.
/h. Then let's say when I click on this button, that screen is calling, correct?
Yes.
One screen is calling where you can import the
Input the business partner.
customer. Yes. So then what we'll do, you'll go and click on that selection. So now what I need to check, I don't want to do a line by line debugging. I just want to stop where that scroll screen is happening. So here above commands. So here above commands will come here. So above commands is nothing but function 9 F9. Okay, no?
Yeah.
So here you just need to put the code. Code is in the sense when whatever you're writing in SC38. So in SC38 you're writing some code, call screen 100. Let's say if you are let's say here, okay, no, for flush report. So here where is the call screen here? Correct, here, no?
Yes, full
So
screen.
these are nothing but commands. Okay, these are above commands. This one or this one. Okay, or message. These are above commands. Okay, no.
Okay.
So these are add selection screen or select performs or the select queries. These are the above commands.
Months. Okay.
So here, if I put the call screen, I'll
Full
put
screen.
enter, and I'll do a F8 here. So it will
Mhm.
stop anywhere the program is calling the screen, and wherever it is calling a screen till the end of the program.
It will
If there are
stop.
10
Okay.
screens also, it will stop.
Mhm.
If
Right.
there is 10 screens also, it will stop. So now it is first screen is this one. So here, this is one screen. Then again, it will stop whenever there is a next screen. Okay.
Okay.
So this one is not, this is calling from some container, that is why it is not happening. So whenever the screen will come now, it will trigger there. Okay. Again, one more screen came.
Mm-hmm.
That screen is nothing but the end screen, last screen, this one. Okay. Like that, you can check the messages also. Like that, you can put the messages. So you can go here.
Yes.
So function F9,
Function is 9. Yes.
message, and do a F8.
F8.
Okay. Then whenever a message will trigger, it will stop. All screen. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, whenever the message is triggered, it will stop there. Then you can check that message whether this is the error or not. If this is
Right.
not the error, then just do F8. Again, it will trigger with that message and check whether this was the error which was raised or
Raised.
not. Then if this is the issue, then you have to put a fix somewhere here. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is why these commands are there. Okay, no? That is another way to stop at that. Okay, no? So that is what I think we have covered most of the points in debugging. So anything specific you want to ask any questions or something like that, team?
Nothing, Gangadhar, nothing from my side.
So follow me, Sanchari. You have anything to ask for specific?
Somewhere I saw configure debugger layer. So what is that for?
Configure debugger layer is I think you are just asking about that. Okay, this one, no?
Yes.
So this one is nothing but some settings of the work area. So direct definition of the visible set layer programs. I have not used this before, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like a configurations for this.
Yeah.
We don't do this one. Top entry. Not sure actually. I've
Okay.
not used this actually profile. I think some configurations of the debugger. Maybe what I'm thinking is maybe if I use some authority checks or something, let's say if some profile or something, if I maintain,
Mm-hmm.
then the debugging will execute in that way. It will not allow. See, one more thing. Okay, if you ask this
Okay.
one, I'll tell you.
Okay.
In some cases, what will happen is for my profile, let's say if you go to CRP or in production, so
Mm-hmm.
now you will just go and you will go and change this variable. You go and change, just go and delete the variable. So what is will happen if I let's say go, I will go and edit this. Okay, no? Okay.
Yes.
Now it is aligned. Okay, I can
Mm-hmm.
do it and I'll do and it enter. Now it is allowing. But in
Align.
production, what it will happen is if you go and change this variable, if you
Mm-hmm.
click on this edit button also, it will throw error
Try error. Okay. It won't
saying
allow.
that you are not allowed to change the variable. You are you have missing authorizations. Okay,
Okay.
no?
Mm-hmm.
You are missing authorization to do those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no? So I think that those type of configurations will happen back and for that user. Okay, maybe they are using on this or somewhere thing. I am not sure how they're doing this. Maybe this basis guy they will do that. Okay, no?
Okay.
Who have the access, will have the access. What means up to what point of debugging they can do, up to what extent they can do debugging, whether they can change the value or they can do a script or load a script, they can do that. So these all things they can control that, so that if let's say if Joy or say or functional consultant are trying to debug, they will, for them they will not allow. It will allow for the user who are from the development team.
Development team, yes.
They will give the full access or some portion of the access to that team. So like that, they will give set the roles for them from the basis side. Okay. So that is what. So configure means it's maybe it is something configuring on the debugging part to behave something different, or some profiles that they will set. This one maybe we are not doing this. I think I'm not using any time before this.
Okay, okay. What?
That is what.
Yes.
Okay, no?
Yes.
And what else we have? Customizing.
I think so. Hey, Gangadhar, I think so. It's enough. It was a very
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
one now. Okay, we have to let the team.
Yes.
with
I
the
am
regular
also
stuff
taking
also.
much time. Yes.
No, but it was very insightful.